Um, that's when he tried biting. That's when he tried biting. I ain't even noticed that till somebody said something.
I just know that from experience. So, I think he lost the fight. If we're being really honest, Tank, you lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw.
When a top-tier fighter faces someone who matches their skill in the ring, desperation can set in. We witnessed this with Mike Tyson when he bit Holyfield's ear, and now Tank Davis is showing similar behavior. In a recent interview, Lamont Roach shared some shocking insights into how Tank was resorting to dirty tactics, including calling for random timeouts and even attempting to bite his ear off. This revelation has left both professionals and fans feeling deeply disappointed in Davis.
He would, and I thought he won the fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own two eyes. And
Terrence Crawford has sparked more debate with his opinions on Gervonta Davis's fight, criticizing the officiating and questioning the result. Appearing on Shaq's podcast, Crawford didn't hold back, arguing that Davis taking a knee should have been counted as a knockdown. He stressed that any fighter who voluntarily goes down should be ruled as such and raised concerns about why the referee stopped the count midway, suggesting there might have been favoritism involved.
To the Tank fight, and when he took the knee, do you really think he had grease in his eye?
Well, let me start by saying 1,000% it should have been called a knockdown if you take a knee in any scenario in the fight. I don't know if he had grease in his eye or what. I know he took a knee, and that should have been called a knockdown.
Beyond the controversy over the knockdown, Crawford made an even stronger statement by claiming Lamont Roach deserved to win the fight. He highlighted how Roach was the more active and aggressive fighter, landing more punches while Davis remained less engaged in crucial rounds. Though Crawford acknowledged Davis's control in the middle rounds, he argued that Roach clearly dominated the early and late rounds, displaying greater determination, which likely led to Tank resorting to desperate tactics. Crawford believes Davis faced an opponent who outclassed him, while Roach showed more maturity by putting his ego aside.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And what champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at.
Paulie Malignaggi also didn't hold back, calling Gervonta Davis a protected fighter and blasting the fight as another manufactured spectacle in boxing. Malignaggi claimed that Davis has been strategically shielded from real challenges and hyped as an unbeatable force. He also criticized the referee's decision to halt the count, which he saw as an indication of preferential treatment for Davis. Malignaggi took it further, arguing that any fan who continues to defend Davis is blindly supporting a fighter who hasn't truly earned his reputation. He feels this fight was just another carefully orchestrated event to maintain the illusion of Davis's supremacy.
I don't know, man. I can't keep reiterating how disappointing Gervonta Davis has been as far as the resume is concerned. If this is about as manufactured a star as you can make, and anybody who is going to defend that is really got to get their groupie lenses checked, because I've never seen a guy with this many pay-per-view headliners have not a single Hall of Famer on his resume. Not a single win on Gervonta Davis's resume will make you look at.
Danny Garcia took a more measured approach, but still pointed out a harsh reality. Tank Davis's struggles were inevitable. Garcia admitted that Tank had a tough night, but blamed it on a lack of true competition. In his view, Davis should have been facing top-tier champions much earlier in his career, but his carefully crafted matchups left him unprepared for genuine challenges. Now that the criticism is mounting, Garcia believes this is the natural consequence of years of protection, with fans frustrated over Davis's avoidance of fighters like Devin Haney and Shocker Stevenson. When he finally faced real resistance, his career path's flaws became clear.
It's just boxing, you just never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I say in boxing it's better for you to just fight the best. Because if you lose, you lost to a fighter like you, a dog like you. But if you lose to a fighter with a lesser of a name, and you're supposed to win or a performance like this, it hurts your resume.
Rolly Romero shared similar thoughts, saying that Tank Davis simply had an off night, just like he did against Isaac Cruz. Romero acknowledged that every Fighter experiences tough nights, but when you're a star like Tank, the criticism tends to be louder. He believes that even the best fighters have moments when they're not at their best, and that shouldn't necessarily result in hate. However, with Tank, it's different. Romero knows that people enjoy criticizing Tank, which is why a friend of Lamont Roach mentioned the biting incident. According to Romero, this kind of pressure often diminishes a fighter's motivation in the ring.
People want to discredit Tank, and he's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night with Cruz. Everyone has a night.
For years, the label Protected has followed Gervonta Davis like a shadow, especially since his partnership with Floyd Mayweather. Many in the boxing world have questioned whether Davis was truly being tested or merely kept in carefully orchestrated matchups to preserve his undefeated record. His opponents were frequently handpicked, and the biggest names in his division were often avoided. Following the controversial draw with Lamont Roach, doubts about Davis's career have grown louder. The aura of Tank's invincibility has been shattered, and for the first time, people are seeing what happens when he's not the one in control. Canelo Alvarez even went as far as suggesting that the behavior Tank displayed in the ring should have resulted in a disqualification.
Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point, and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, it was a draw. He take a knee, and plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules.
Both boxing fans and professionals have long criticized Tank Davis for avoiding genuine challenges, while fighters like Devin Haney, Shocker Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez have stepped up to face risky opponents. Davis has stuck to a more comfortable route. His reputation was built on spectacular knockouts, but often against opponents who pose little threat. The moment he struggled against Isaac Cruz, the label of being protected gained more credibility. Now, after Roach exposed even more vulnerabilities, that label is sticking stronger than ever.
For skill, none of these guys can mess with me, like nobody. Like, I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game, you feel? Well, yeah, I take that back. Probably hand in hand, but skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting on TV.
So what that got to do with you being, I guess, embarrassing? Like, cause again, we seen you make posts on a story like the fight not happening. Like,
cause I don't never want to, like, me not doing my job like all the way, like me not training all the way, me not, you know.
Lamont Roach did what few expected. He made Tank Davis appear vulnerable. Not only did Roach survive, but he also fought Tank on even terms, arguably doing enough to win the fight. Roach landed clean shots, wobbled Davis, and made him uncomfortable in ways no other opponent has. If Roach had more power, Tank might have been knocked out in a viral moment that would have haunted his career forever. What makes this situation different is that Davis is not just dealing with a questionable fight result, he's facing the genuine fear that Roach could have humiliated him.
Even registering or processing through my mind the other rules, right, to the simple fact that he could have got disqualified for having his corner come up to the ring and assist him during the round, or
you can't come to the mat.
Do that. Or he can't turn his back on the, like during the fight. That's cause for that's the wave it all. He took a knee and then turned around and went to the corner. A ref will usually stop the fight.
When asked about a potential rematch, Tank Davis was unlike his usual self. He didn't demand the fight back, dismiss Roach as an easy opponent, or promise to fix his mistakes. Instead, he hesitated. This hesitation is exactly why fans and critics are questioning him more than ever. If Tank truly believed he won, why didn't he immediately call for a rematch to silence the doubters? If Roach was no match for him, why didn't he seek to dominate the fight and erase the controversy? Davis's reluctance to embrace the idea of a rematch has only fueled the belief that he knows he faces another tough challenge.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
The rematch is now inevitable. The backlash, scrutiny, and questions about his legitimacy have ensured that, if Tank refuses, it will confirm all the criticisms about his career that he's been protected, avoided real risks, and isn't as good as he claims. If he agrees to the rematch, he steps into the ring knowing Roach has already hurt him, and the pressure will be even greater. Tank's greatest fear isn't just losing, it's becoming a meme. The punchline of a viral moment. Right now, Roach is the one fighter who came dangerously close to making that fear a reality.
100%. It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Jaron Boots Ennis views the backlash against Gervonta as nothing more than pure hate. He believes people have always sought reasons to tear Tank down, and this fight just gave them more ammunition. Ennis argues that the criticism isn't truly about boxing, but stems from a personal dislike, with Lamont Roach's camp adding fuel to the fire, throwing out lawsuits, making accusations, and even claiming Tank tried to bite Roach's ear. The negativity surrounding Davis has only intensified. Every controversy, every allegation, and every questionable moment is now being used to paint Davis as the villain, making it even easier for critics to target him.
Lamont not being in big names, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel like feeling though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw, you know. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still like frustrating him and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. Like, he looked sharp than me, you know. I don't know, people just be talking, you know. At the end of the day, you can't.
Teofimo Lopez has always been vocal about calling out Gervonta, and after watching Tank struggle against Lamont Roach, he's more certain than ever that Tank's talent has been overstated. For Teofimo, the real takeaway from the fight wasn't the ear-biting controversy, it was how much Tank struggled. He wasn't in control, didn't dominate, and seemed lost at times. If Roach could challenge him so much, Teofimo believes Tank wouldn't stand a chance against Shocker Stevenson. In his view, Shocker would easily outclass Tank, proving that Tank has been overrated. However, Tank's camp disagrees. Kenya Ellis, a member of his team, shot back at Teofimo, stating that Lopez wouldn't survive a fight with Tank, having studied his fighting style closely.
But now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to put that on T.O. because he don't deserve it, but it's a certain area. If he get cut, his career is just about done. Because I've seen him with several fighters in the past.
Adding to Teofimo's critique, Shocker Stevenson has also weighed in. Stevenson has been pushing for a fight with Tank Davis for a while, and after watching Tank's performance against Lamont Roach, he's even more confident about what would happen if they faced off. For Shocker, Roach's performance revealed Tank's vulnerabilities. He wasn't in control, didn't dictate the pace, and wasn't prepared for what Roach brought to the table. Stevenson believes Tank underestimated Roach and paid the price for it, expecting an easy fight, but instead, being caught off guard by Roach's clean shots. Asterisk.
All the talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his, was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even going to throw him, but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision? Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I told him I won.
You told him I won. Got you. I'll talk to you later, Shakur. Good looking.
What stood out most to Stevenson was Tank's response under pressure. He felt that Roach's ability to counter and stay aggressive left Tank uncomfortable, something that rarely happens in his fights. When Roach landed his best shots, Stevenson saw a fighter who wasn't as dominant as people thought. With fans and fellow fighters questioning Tank's abilities, Shocker sees an opportunity to prove that Tank has always been overrated. If Tank continues to avoid him, Stevenson is determined to take down the man who shook up the legend, Lamont Roach. In fact, Lamont Roach recently revealed that a potential fight between him and Shocker is already being discussed.
Shakur Stevenson said that if you can't get the rematch, he has a championship fight waiting for you. What do you think about that?
That's why I love him. Genuinely speaking, man, that's what I want to do. I want to fight the best fights. Like I said, hopefully we can get the rematch. If not, hopefully I can, more than likely we can get in there with Shakur because, we already talked.
Eddie Hearn believes the backlash against Gervonta has gone too far. While he agrees that the 9th round was messy and Tank should have been given a knockdown count, he doesn't think it's enough to change the outcome. Hearn feels a warning would have been more appropriate rather than a suspension or disqualification. he doesn't anticipate the New York Athletic Commission stepping in either, seeing the controversy as something that should motivate Tank to come back stronger, not as a reason to discredit his career. While some feel the fight should be revisited, Hearn doesn't believe Roach should be awarded the win. He views the result as a valuable lesson for Tank, one that should inspire him to be more disciplined in the ring. Despite the noise, Hearn believes the draw should stand and Tank will move forward.
I haven't watched the fight. We had a show that night. I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, "Oh, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner." I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation for me. Like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight. It's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where...
Joe Rogan didn't hold back in his reaction to Gervonta Davis's controversial draw with Lamont Roach. While many were debating whether Tank truly deserved the result, Rogan's focus shifted to Roach's performance. He admitted he hadn't seen Roach fight before, but now considered himself a fan. A comment that seemed like an indirect jab at Tank. Instead of praising Davis, Rogan highlighted Roach's skills and expressed interest in a potential rematch. His remarks added fuel to the growing narrative that Tank Davis had been exposed, suggesting he was not the invincible force many believed him to be.
It becomes a victory. I think it should be a victory for him, and I think they should do a rematch.
100%.
Everybody saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he hurt Tank. Tank did have some shit in his eyes, but what are you doing put in your hair when you have a world title fight? That's crazy.
And no one want to hear about it in the middle of a fight. No one cares. If a fly by, drop the ball, bro.
Right.
Drop the damn ball. We don't care if a fly flew by your helmet or your eyes.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
You can't be a championship fighter and taking a knee and putting on those type of performances.
Also, what are they putting in his hair? That when he's sweating, it's
Tank. This fight isn't just about defending his belt, it's about silencing the doubters, reclaiming his aura of invincibility, and showing that his time at the top isn't over. But if he falters again, the conversation will shift from questioning his competition to questioning his actual skill level. So, what do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates. *.